There are many elements that go into what makes a sports card desirable. There's of course scarcity, condition, nostalgia, and of course the athlete depicted on the card. But there's another factor that makes collectors gravitate towards some cards. Another factor that in some cases makes the cards worth millions, and that is the story behind the card. So with that being said, here are my top 5 sports cards with the craziest backstories. You may not believe some of these, but get ready.
Play clock at 5, score 4 goals, 3, 2 home running, and 1.
Coming in at number 5, I got the 1990 Sam Vincent Hoops card. Sam who? Yup, most basketball fans probably have never heard of Sam Vincent. So what makes this common card so desirable? Well, take a close look who's underneath Sam Vincent. It's the GOAT, Michael Jordan, wearing the number 12. And why is Jordan rocking number 12? Hit him with the shrug real quick. We all know he wore number 23 nearly his entire career, except for 22 games when he wore 45. But did you know before a Bulls versus Magic game in 1990, his number 23 jersey was stolen? Apparently, Bulls staff searched the crowd looking for a number 23 Jordan jersey he could borrow for the game. And apparently they found one, but it was too small. So Jordan was forced to wear a blank number 12 backup jersey. The blank jersey made no difference as MJ was in his bag that night and he torched the Magic for 49 points. Days later, it was proven the jersey had been taken by a member of the Magic's arena security. Back to the card, it's the only widely distributed card featuring MJ in the number 12 jersey. And for that reason, card lovers consider it a collector's item. This card was produced during a time known as the sports card junk wax era. Cards were overproduced and this card was everywhere. At number 4, I'm rolling with another card from the exact same set, the 1990 Mark Jackson Hoops card. So this backstory is definitely on the eerie side. You've been warned. Mark Jackson was one of the best point guards of his day, but his sports cards really don't demand much attention. Except for this one. And it's all because of the 2 guys on the left sitting courtside. Those are the infamous Menendez brothers who were convicted of unaliving their millionaire parents back in 1989. The story captivated the nation and still makes headlines to this day. It was proven the brothers went on lavish spending sprees with their parents' insurance money, and clearly one of their purchases was courtside Knicks tickets. So someone out there in recent years figured out that those were the brothers that are sitting in the picture. One of the brothers even confirmed it was them in an article online. But maybe the creepiest part, this picture was taken just months after the murder. The chilling story behind the photo is the reason why an otherwise worthless card is in such high demand. At the number 3 spot, I have to put the Billy Ripken 1989 Fleer card. Billy is mostly known for being the younger brother of the great Cal Ripken Jr., aka the Iron Man. Billy had a decent 12-year career that was mostly plagued by injuries, but his legacy lives on forever in the form of this card. Look closely at the knob of his bat. It's blurred, but yup, that reads face. Now, there were many rumors out there swirling around as to why the term face got on the knob of the bat. One of the rumors was Cal Ripken, his brother, wrote it on the bat as a prank. That's a sick prank. But Billy actually admitted in an interview that he wrote face to distinguish it from all the other bats in batting practice. And somehow, this is the image that was taken and used on his 1989 Fleer card. Also somehow, it made it past inspectors. There's gotta be an editing process where, editors go look at the cards before they're put into circulation. Well, this picture made it past them. The card manufacturer, Fleer, tried to remove all the face cards from the distribution, but tens of thousands had gotten out. They even released different variations of the card to cover up the profanity. There are other rumors out there that Fleer purposely left the card out in circulation as a marketing ploy, but that's probably BS. It has become known as one of the most epic cards in existence and a must-own for many collectors. And in mint condition, this card actually fetches a pretty penny. In at the number 2 spot, of course, I got the Honus Wagner T206 card. So back in the early 1900s, baseball cards were randomly inserted into packs of cigarettes and chewing tobacco. The purpose? A promotional tactic. From 1909 to 1911, the American Tobacco Company created a set of 524 cards that were placed in cigarette packs. One card featured Honus Wagner, one of the greatest at the time. Only one problem: the company never got his permission to be featured on the card. Now, one rumor is he was against promoting tobacco products to kids, which makes sense. Another is the company wasn't paying him nearly enough for his likeness. Long story short, the card was cut from production, but something like 50 to 200 cards got out. So obviously this card, more than it just being 110 years old, is ultra rare. Fun fact, in 1991, Wayne Gretzky actually bought a version of the card for $451,000. An absurd amount to be paying for a sports card back then. That card actually went on to become the first sports card in history to sell for over $1 million. And nowadays, whenever the card does pop up in auction, it always commands 7 figures. Even the ones in the most atrocious condition ever, people pay up. You find the T206 Honus Wagner card in your grandparents' attic, you are rich, my friend. And at number 1, I got the GOAT sports card, the 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle card. So quick backstory. The card manufacturer known as Topps started off as a gum manufacturer and used baseball cards to drive sales. In the summer of 1951, a Topps intern known as Cy Berger co-designed the iconic 52 baseball card set. This paved the way for the modern day sports card. So back then, that set began selling like hotcakes. That's such a 1952 term. So since the first release was so successful, Topps decided to roll out another series of cards, this series featuring the infamous Mickey Mantle. So this series of cards was released in September when football season's starting and kids going back to school, so it really wasn't a great time. Sales plummeted, and naturally, Topps was left with a ton of inventory. So get this is wild, folks. After multiple attempts to sell off the overproduction, they took the remaining 300 to 500 cases of cards and loaded them onto a barge. The barge was then dragged by a tugboat out to the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of the Jersey Shore and dumped into the sea. I live literally right by the Jersey Shore. I could go there right now, swim to the bottom, I'd find nothing. But imagine, oh my God. They didn't know it at the time, but they're throwing out tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions worth of baseball cards. And they definitely could not have imagined that a Mantle card in mint condition would sell for $5.2 million 70 years later. The scarcity of this card is off the charts. In fact, there are just 6 PSA 9s out there and only 3 PSA 10s. Many think a PSA 10 could fetch more than $30 million, probably more. That shit became fish food real quick. So that's it, that's my list. Which card do you think has the most captivating story? My name is Brad Parker, and that's my top 5.